to the Elevation Breakthrough Challenge with Dee Savoy and Olivia Whiteman. Today is our first day where we are talking about the first myth that helps keep spiritual entrepreneurs stuck, stagnant, and playing it small. Please join us as we discuss how this first myth really impacts us and our business. How we allow myths about spiritual businesses, right, to keep us stuck, stagnant, and playing it small, right? Sometimes these myths are designed to kind of keep us, not feeling as if we are really business people because we have spiritually based or holistic based or conscious based businesses, that it's not really a business. We don't really need the same things that other businesses need. And to some degree that's true, but not completely. So what we really want to do with this challenge is to help you break out of these myths that may or may not each one may pertain to you, but as a whole, they keep us playing stuck, small, and staying stagnant where we are. And as I love to say, anything that stagnates dies, right? So we really want to be able to keep in the flow, keep our businesses moving, and to create that which we really desire to bring forward. Okay, so so for our agenda, the first thing we want to do is say welcome, welcome, welcome. And if everybody could put in the chat what kind of business they have or what kind of business they aspire to have, because you may not have started yet, but you may really want to create something for yourself. So if you could put the type of business you would like to have in the chat. So say if you're a Reiki practitioner, right? You want a healing business. If you, maybe you make delicious soaps to help people clear their skin. That's still a holistic or spiritual practice, especially if you're using good ingredients. Then you may want to have a soap business or a healing business the same way, right? It's all healing. So if you can put what your what your business is in the chat. Yes, we do need respect in business, right? Okay. Ooh, I like that, Dusty, authenticity after trauma. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? I'm so glad you're here too. Ooh, integrated brain injury recovery. Wow. Reiki and sound healing practice, Nick. Beautiful. Okay. Vibrational energy, spiritual healing practice, and education. Beautiful, beautiful. So everybody really does have a really good idea of what they would like to create. And that's very important. That's where you really want to start, is what kind of business you wish to create. Sales, confidence, and self-mastery coaching. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. So as I said, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have our welcome, which is what we're doing right now. The second thing we're going to cover is the myth that we're talking about that keeps you small and stuck and not really entering your business as you should. And then we're going to start talking to you about an offer that we have for a course that's going to be able to help you do all those things that we're talking about, including bust those myths about yourself and your business, and to really take yourself to the next step in your spiritual, holistic, or conscious business. All right. So here we go. How does that sound to everybody? If that sounds good, put a thumbs up in the chat. Yeah, to see beautiful. What you said, Pauline, seeking legitimacy and validation, right? To be in the business world, because a lot of people in the business world are like, oh, that's not a business, that's not anything, and it actually is. And depending on what you do and how you do it, you can be very successful. You can support yourself. A lot of times people think that if you're in a holistic business, that it can only be your side hustle and not your main gig. And I think a lot of people have proved that wrong. So we want to be in the camp that's proving that wrong. Okay. So now, there is a booklet that goes along with this program. And Dusty, would you put that in the chat, please? Okay. Okay. So Dusty will get that ready and put that in the chat. And what we want to start, really want to start by saying is that in these 5 days, what our goal is to increase the visibility, accountability, and profitability of your spiritual business this year. These are the three, what we call the three indicators that you are really moving up in your business. When you have greater visibility, when you have greater accountability, and when you have greater profitability in your business, okay? So let's get started talking about these myths. And there are commonly held beliefs about spiritual, holistic, or conscious businesses and or spiritual entrepreneurs, as we've been saying. Each of these myths is designed to keep us from welcoming in the success, joy, and abundance that is the natural result of running a business. Everybody who has a business is able to feel joy, contentment, fulfillment from the running of that business, regardless of what kind of business it is. And I think we're even more entitled to it as spiritual entrepreneurs to feel great about what we do, because we know that we come into this business space to serve. We don't just come in with the total capitalist mindset. Let's make, as much money as we possibly can off everyone's back. That's not what we're about. We're about making money as we serve, right? So that makes us a different breed of entrepreneur, okay? And we're going to challenge you to overcome these ingrained ideas about what it means to be a spiritual entrepreneur by working through the program that is in the document that we just posted, okay? So if you want to take a moment to just open that up, and then you can kind of follow along if you would like. Okay, so here's our first myth. Okay, our first myth is spiritual entrepreneurs need 1 million certifications to be considered experts in their field. And I want to be the first to tell you this is not true. You do not need to say study a healing modality, and then there's this, and then there's that, and crystals, and in order to be an expert in what you do. And part of the reason for that is that I think once people get into their holistic or spiritual practice, the idea is not to serve everybody. The idea, and we're going to get into this on a later date, a little more specifically, the idea is to find those people who resonate with you, right? And this is the way they say, your mess becomes your message. And the people that you want to serve really are a reflection of you and what you have been through, and the problems and situations that you can help other people work through. And so what you really need to focus on is that innate desire to heal or comfort or benefit other people in some way, how it is that you are designed to serve, and then focusing on that. And that's not to say that training isn't important. It's very important if you want to serve people. But the idea is you don't need to run from pillar to post in order for people to take you seriously. I think you do need to be able to show, I have certification in this and this and this, and that's how it blends together to make one cohesive business, one cohesive practice that my clients can know and seek out from me because they know this is what I am specializing in. Because this is to some degree what you've been through, to some degree what you need to heal in yourself. They say that you always gravitate toward teaching what you need to learn. So if you are in the process of learning it, you can bring along other people who are not quite as far on the road to their healing process as you have been on yours. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know enough and have the desire enough to help other people come through what you've been through. So if you agree with that, put a heart in the chat if that sounds good to you. Okay, let me see what you're saying there, Michelle. Right, right, exactly, exactly. And you know, here's part of the problem with this, certification chase is that we seek certifications in the things where we doubt ourselves, right? And to some degree, that's good. Because if you want to be, say, a sound healer and you don't take any training in sound healing, you just say, well, I know what sounds heal people, that would not work, okay? Because we do need certification. But if you say, well, okay, I want to be a sound healer, but I'm going to study this and this and this and this and this to be taken seriously as a sound healer, you don't necessarily need a whole bunch of different things. You may need to drill down into your one specialty so that you are continually learning more about what you want to focus on and what you want to help people with. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now we only have about 15 um, more minutes to talk with you today. So the idea that I really want to leave you with is that it's not the certifications that make you the healer. It's not the training that makes you the healer. And I really believe very strongly that no matter what tools you come with, you have to start out with you as the healer. Okay. And there's two ways that you really want to do this. Number one, I say all the time, if you want to heal the world, start with yourself. You have to be on your healing path in order for you to be able to reach back to someone else who hasn't come as far as you have and pull them along into greater healing and greater self-understanding. Okay. And the second way we do that is recognizing that no matter what you study, how you study it, where you study it, with whom you study it, you are the essential ingredient in this process. And that you have to take ownership of that. You have to take ownership of the fact that it is you that brings the healing to someone else and gives them the permission to heal themselves. Okay? This is what I say all the time. The only thing that we can really provide other people as healers is the time, energy, space, and permission for them to heal themselves. So when we step out there, if you know that you are the medicine, regardless of the tools you bring, you can step out in confidence. You can step out and claim your expertise. You can step out and feel as if you have much to bring out into the world because you know it's you. You claim. You have to claim that for yourself. And when you can do that, then things like imposter syndrome, self-doubt, all this uncertainty, they tend to fade away because you understand that it is you, your willingness to serve and your willingness to help other people is the thing that magnetizes and makes you an expert in what you do. So I'm going to open up the floor a little bit. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Okay, well, you know what? Um, these questions, like you're having right now, Paige, can be answered during this challenge here and also in the course that we are going to be offering throughout the challenge. So I'm going to open it up just a little bit because we do have a couple of minutes. And anybody who would like to say something um, or add something, please do so. I don't know if unfortunately, it's not like a Zoom meeting where you can just speak up. But if there's anything that you would like to add or any questions that you have right now, um, please put them in the chat right now so we can look at them and address them as we go forward. You know what? You don't necessarily have to partner with someone who does exactly what you do. Okay, so don't think of it that way. Olivia and I are both coaches, but we coach completely different types of populations and coach entirely different ways, so that when we get together, we can talk kind of about the same thing, but we are not necessarily even talking to the same audiences or about the same thing. But because we respect and amplify each other's voices, it doesn't necessarily matter if you're speaking with someone with the exact same voice. It only matters that maybe you have the same kind of offer that you're going to provide to people, because you know it doesn't have to be that you only work with people who do what you do. Okay, so now let's get into what we're offering. Okay, um, there is a program that Olivia and I. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can invite you back on before I get started. This is good. What are your suggestions for establishing legitimacy other than certification? Knowledge, wisdom. Um, there's a difference between seeking out, certifications and seeking out knowledge. When you have a certification, generally, that is the beginning of your study on that topic. It's not the end. So, for example, if you have a Reiki certification, that doesn't mean that, look, wow, I'm Reiki 1 or Reiki 2 or whatever, and I know everything I need to know about this topic. That's not true. That means that, okay, now I have the certification where I can practice. So what do I want to know about a continuing practice? I go online and I look at it, right? Um, I um, I talk to other Reiki people. I talk to other, Reiki clients. I read about Reiki. There are a number of professional magazines for anything that you can, any kind of healing practice that you could have, and you continue to learn. And that's what gives you your expertise on the matter, because certification in anything is only the beginning. I don't think the general public recognizes that, in the sense that, clients may come to you and they want to know you're certified in this or that, blah, blah, whatever. And they think that if you become certified in something, like the whole shebang. But what is really true is that, this is why I say you have to take responsibility for your own expertise. You have to continue to study, to practice. You learn a lot through working with people. So when you're starting out, you may want to have some clients that give you a money exchange. You may want to also have some other clients that give you some other kind of exchange. And we're going to get into exchanges later, right? On in this challenge. You may want to have some people who are not paying you in money, but are maybe paying you in services. They help you out in some way. a barter system so that you continue to learn. And the more you use any spiritual practice, the stronger you get at it. So you learn by doing, you learn by studying, and you learn by certification, which is just the beginning. That's just the beginning of the process. Okay, but let's talk a little bit about the offer that we're making for you, and then our time will be up for today. Now, the offer is for our program, Moving to Your Mission. It is an 8-week program that will help you improve, just like our program here today, your visibility, your accountability, and your profitability of your spiritual, holistic, or conscious business. And we do this by addressing both the 7 chakras, which I hope all of us are familiar with, from the crown to the root, as well as the 4 elements, which are earth, air, fire, and water, which are the elements of creation. And we combine all that together to help you assess where you are in your business and to take it from the more esoteric up here in the crown, what is our spiritual connection to our business, to the root, which is much more everyday and practical, where we're talking about what systems in place do you have in place for customers, for products, for communicate, for everything. And it's a real review of your entire business and grounding it into reality, which is how we really create anything in the world, is we start out with our spiritual connection to it, and we bring it down through the chakras to ground it into that root chakra, into reality. That's manifestation right there. So if you are interested in this, hearing more about this program, please put a smiley face in the chat so that we can make sure we expand on this each time to let you know a little bit more about the program each day. And we can send a link to you. We're not going to send it today, because today you will need to really take a look at the booklet that comes with it, answer some questions, and do your assignment for tonight. And your assignment is to go to, I believe, it might be the 4th or 5th page in the booklet. And after the booklet talks about the myth of needing 1 million certificates, it's going to go down into talking about your own certification, right? And then what we want you to do is to fill that out, okay? Either you could print it out, you could take a picture of it, you could, however you work with paper these days, because I know not everybody has a printer, and fill out either on the paper itself, or maybe in your own journal, answer those questions. And then what we would love for you to do, sorry, our video cut out, but what we'd love for you to do is to make a video of yourself introducing who you are, what kind of business you have, and what your answers are to the activity sheet that was handed out in the meeting. Thanks so much for being with us.